Now, welcome to part 2 for FPV on the cheap. Now, in your previous video, you would have seen this is the F36 from Furibee. Awesome little quadcopter, so tiny, but don't let the size fool you. It is extremely fun and very stable as well. Now, the benefit of this is you can get one of these small Furibee F03 FPV all-in-one camera systems and just mount it to the top here like that, and you have yourself a really cheap but really fun FPV drone. So you do have the blade inductrix and the mini whoop, which this is a copy of those, but the benefit of this is because it's so cheap, when you put two and two together you can make a drone just as good as the more expensive ones. So obviously, to get started, this is the canopy here, and it's just snapped on by these two little clips on the side. Pop that off, and what we see here at the back of the drone, you have two little solder pads. The left one here is positive and the right one here is negative. And to confirm that, you can see on the bottom here it's B plus and it says B minus. So flip that around, it copies on to the other side here. The next step is we get our pre-tinned wires from the little F03 Furibee unit here, and we solder them directly to this board, making sure we don't bridge this gap here, otherwise that'll short and you might burn out the board here, and you might burn out the camera, or you might burn out both. Double whammy. Now take your time, there is no rush. You want a good solid connection there, but the main thing, you don't want to bridge that gap. Make sure that's secure. Give it a small little tug. Happy days. Same with the negative. I could have used a smaller solder, but this is all I have at the moment. There we go. Give it a couple seconds. Make sure it's all good. Bit of a pull there, as you can see. Bit of tension, and it's not coming off. So the main thing here, we don't want anything touching these separate positive and negatives. That's the main thing there. As you can see, all looks fine, and we should be able to plug the battery in and check if it all lights up. Now, you don't want to just put this board onto this board here, because if some metal touches from here to this board, you could short it out and have problems and ruin both the camera and the Furibee board as well. So if it does crash and this bends down, I don't want any metal hitting the other board on the drone, so I might just insulate this with a piece of duct tape or something like that. So when it does come like that, it'll hit the tape and not the solder on the boards. So there are several ways you can attach the camera to the drone. You could use a rubber band, hot glue, or what I'm going to be using is double-sided tape, just a small block of double-sided tape. So in case there is a bit of a hit, it has a bit of flex and just, I don't know, won't crack or break something if it's too rigid. Now you notice on this board it has like a, not too sure what that is, a resistor or something like that, or transistor, but it kind of gets in the way. So I've just cut a small notch out on the double-sided tape there, just to sit above it so the camera sits flat and level. Now, because this is so small and the motors are tiny, you don't want to add too much weight with these cameras, so this F03 is perfect for it. I think it weighs 4.5 grams, which is absolutely nothing. So you want to have the minimum amount to hold it down. So don't go crazy on the hot glue if you do use that technique. But just something like this tape is perfect, because you can just sit it there, and a piece of this tape weighs next to nothing. Now, another thing to note when you're using a drone, obviously when you go picking up speed, it'll tilt down like that. And if your camera is mounted flat on the drone, you'll just be pointing at the ground. So it'd be beneficial if you just incline it up a little bit, so when you are going at a little bit of speed, the camera, if it's sitting like this, will be level, so you still be able to see the horizon or what's in front of you, not just pointing at the ground. But with these, they don't move that quickly. It might be beneficial just to leave it like this to get the hang of it, and it's extremely easy to rake it up later on. And just like that, we have the FPV camera mounted to the Furibee. I've got a little bit of another tape here. It's a clear, transparent tape. It's got like a double-sided as well, but I left it on here just to insulate the board in case it touches the other part here. But there we go. It's just a small piece of double-sided tape, and as you can see, it is very strong. And the good thing about it, it does have a bit of flex in case I do hit something when the inevitable accidents occur, because this is my first time with this FPV drone thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. There we go. Battery's plugged up. The light is on, which is a good thing. No magic smoke which means it was a success. And just to make sure everything is working, I'll get this G-Ting watch powered up and see if we can get an FPV image. Cycle through the menus here. There we go. And there is the Blade Inductrix or Mini Whoop copy for a bargain of a price. And if you don't like to see these props in the shot, you can always move this camera forward up into here. I just thought it would be beneficial having it kind of in the center of the little drone itself for balance reasons. Now, in case you guys want to know how to mount a rubber band around it, there we go there. It just goes around the standard little clips that held on the body on the side. You loop it around one side and the other, and you can just go across the board. It's not that much attention, but it just leaves it there in case you'd ever fall. It kind of just helps secure it and it won't just fly off the double-sided tape. But there we go, see? Pretty cool. And it has a bit of flex so it won't just snap or cause too much damage. Now the DVR is recording on this AMWay 7-inch monitor and everything seems to be working just as it should. I'm going to go get my Topsto 7-inch video goggles, slap them on and give it its first little head and flight and see how I go. Now guys, hope you enjoyed this little tutorial about how to add this awesome F03 Furibee camera to the top of the F36. It makes it a fun little FPV quad, and good thing about it, it is super cheap. Now this is roughly about $50, and then if you want you can go buy the Furibee VR01 FPV goggles as well, and that whole package will be under $100. So you can get going for under $100. You can get a full little FPV setup and have heaps of fun flying around and not be too worried about smashing it, because these are very resilient, very light. You can't really damage them even if you fall from a height, and the parts are really cheap. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions please ask, but please stay tuned for part 3 coming up. There will be more in this series, so any questions please leave them down below. Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.